I got into Barnes & Noble, and whatever drugs they put through the vents in there got all up in my system, and I smelled the new books, and then I blacked out and went completely feral. What's up? My name is Leah. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a bookstore reading vlog. So today we are going to go book shopping, and we're going to spend the next 2 days going to 2 different bookstores. We're going to go to my local used bookstore, and then we're going to go to Barnes & Noble, and I'm really excited because we're going to be doing some serious birthday book shopping because it is my birthday, and I'm super stoked. So without any further ado, let's go book shopping. What's up, bruh? How's it going? Hearts and Noble.
Even if this life got us shaking up, you put a spell right on me, sweet honey. Little taste of you so lovely. I'm feeling the heat, it's a fever. Could you call me up, Marina? Don't you know you're beautiful, and the whole world knows. Hey, Irina, I can't wait till you get home. I want you to know that nothing comes between us. Oh, babe. Oh, babe.
Down my cards, ready to play, yeah. It's all a game. Who's gonna pay up? Much at stake. What would you give up to change your fate? Luck isn't made, fuck all your fake. Love face down, but you're not down for me. Downplay when I say that I'm wanting more, 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 more. What's it for? Keep score, but you keep me guessing. But I guess that you keep it on the low, 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 low. No, no, no. Are you ready for this? Come on, we could just go all in. Are you ready for this? Come on, we could just go all in. We could just go all in. We could just go all in. Loving you is a gamble. Loving you is a gamble. Oh, burning me like a candle. You could be such a handful. tell me nothing, I'm still gon' wait, yeah. Loving you is a gamble, loving you is a gamble, oh. There's no way I'm not at face, and I'm lost without your eyes. There's no way I'm not at face. I've been feeling like lately we go through the motions. Maybe a game to you, baby. I got no control. Done no poker face when I show my emotions. Shame to lose it, cause I just couldn't hold them. Close enough, am I losing love? Are you ghosting on me cause I opened up? Cause I hope to hear you say something. Quit playing around and go all in. Are you ready for this? Come on, we can just go all in. Are you ready for this? Come on, we can just go all in. We could just go all in. We could just go all in. Loving you is a gamble. Loving you is a gamble. Oh, burning me like a candle. You could be such a handful. Oh, why you always love it? We could just shoot straight. You don't tell me nothing, I'm still gon' wait. Yeah, loving you is a gamble. Loving you is a gamble. Oh, loving you is a gamble. Loving you is a gamble. Oh, burning me like a candle. You could be such a handful. Oh, why you always love it? We could just shoot straight. You don't tell me nothing, I'm still gon' wait. Yeah, loving you is a gamble. Loving you is a gamble. Oh,
Happy raps. Yeah. I done caught a wave at a young age. Niggas getting paid doing dumb things. Making little money and they act strange. All these girls really want one thing. I like them just like my coffee. All of these girls go to Starbucks. Yeah. All of these girls up in college. I like them smart with no drama. I do find a girl, make her smile, make her happy. Get a ring, make a child start film. Happy raps is going viral to the Grammys. I might need to drop an album for the Grammys, like yeah. She said she met me in college, I knew her, that's true. I'ma be home soon, let's go get coffee for two. She liked me soon as she met me. I knew as soon as I met her. I took my shot, feel like Reddit. Come be with a king like a Redder, it's true. She go in early, that's prophecy. I need a power, that's down for me. To make my good days my better days. I order peach green tea lemonade. I might just post up at the Starbucks, maybe hit the drive-thru. Yeah. You can hit me with the drop pen, cause I can't find you. Yeah.
Hello, so we're back from the bookstores and I did some serious damage, my friends. I feel like I got into Barnes & Noble and whatever drugs they put through the vents in there got all up in my system and I smelled the new books and then I blacked out and went completely feral. And between both the bookstores, I bought like 23 books, which is insane. But I have not gone book shopping in a really, really long time. And so normally I only go like twice a year. I go for my birthday and I go for Christmas and I go totally apeshit insane. And the rest of the year, I just read all the books that I have. So with that being said, let's get into the book haul because I got quite a few really fabulous books. So the first one that I grabbed is Open Throat by Henry Hoke. So this is one that my friend Allie from Alea Does Read read a few months ago and really enjoyed. And I saw this gorgeous edition with the hot pink cover and the mountain lion on the front. Oh my god, stunning. We'd love to see it. I actually already read this because as soon as we got home from the bookstores, I was just in the mood to read, and so I just sat down and binge read this whole thing, and it was so good. Highly recommend. So I'm really excited about this author because I've never read from him before, and this was really fun. It's from the POV of a mountain lion, and it's set in LA, like in Hollywood, and basically this mountain lion is living like out in the hills below the Hollywood sign, and there's a lot of like forest fires happening, and there's some homeless people that he runs into, and we basically get to see the world from his POV, and it's kind of about like the hellscape of modern America and alienation and climate change and all these different things. And also the mountain lion is queer as well, so there's some queer rep in here. It's just a very unique story, and it's also kind of written in an interesting format as well, so it's kind of like a prose poem as well. Really highly recommend. Fabulous writing, beautiful, lyrical. Love to see it. Next up I got So Witches We Became. So this is one that is a new release. It's a YA fantasy about witches, and I'm really excited about this. I think I'm going to be reading this for a reading vlog this fall. And basically what I did is I went through Barnes & Noble, and any books where I was like, ooh, that looks really good, or I've heard really good things about that, I always kind of pick it up and read the first sentence of each one, and basically I buy the ones that have really good first lines, because if it doesn't catch me from the jump, then I'm not going to be into it. So this one, the beginning is, the girl can't move. Her eyes snap open, but her limbs are stiff as stone. And then, I think that's like the prologue or whatever. Charlie might be a pain in Harper's ass, but his money pays for a hell of a lot. Like a week on a private barrier island just off the Atlantic coast. An entire island. Ooh, fun. But anyways, so this one looked really good to me, and I'm super stoked about it. This was also one that was a like audiobook arc through Libro.fm, so I think some other people got this too, but I have never heard anybody actually review it. I just thought the cover was really stunning. It was kind of giving like fungi, magic, witchy vibes, which is right up my alley. So excited about this. Next up, I got this book by Jennifer Egan. It's called A Visit from the Goon Squad. This is another one that Allie from Allie Does Read read a few months ago, and I think she liked it, but I originally in the store thought that Jennifer Egan was the same author who wrote Big Swiss. No, that's Jennifer Began, different author. So I got that wrong, but the first line of this was really fun too. And this is kind of an interesting one. The first line is, it began the usual way in the bathroom of the Lastimo Hotel. What began in the bathroom? I need to know. Next, we have a romance by Katie Robert, and it's called Blood on the Tide. This is one that I was interested in because a few months ago I was looking for books that were about mermaids, and this one is actually not about a mermaid. It's about a vampire and a selkie, and they have a romance. And that sounded really cool to me. So I would like to do maybe like a selkie reading vlog. I know that's like really niche, but I've been finding more and more books lately that are specifically about selkies, and I kind of want to do a vlog around that, but it also has a vampire, so I thought it could also be really good for fall. And it's also got like kind of a ocean water setting, and I've also been looking for books that have more of that kind of ocean sea monster sea creature vibe, so I picked this one up. I'm extremely excited to get to this. If you've read this, let me know. Next up is a horror, and it's This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno. So I've seen a ton of people on booktube read this and love it, and I think it's going to be right up my alley. It's one that I was considering maybe doing as a book club pick at some point. But the first line is, your parents wouldn't let me bury you in a tree pod, mostly your mom. Tea. Anyways, I think it's about a guy whose wife dies, and there's something weird going on in their house, and I think it has something to do with the technology in their house. I think they have something that's sort of like an Alexa in a way, and it starts like ordering weird things, and like random packages that they didn't order start showing up at the house, and weird things are happening around the home, and then his wife passes away, and I think like maybe the machines or technology in the house like killed her, and so the husband leaves and it's like, I gotta get out of here, you know, there's bad memories in the house now for me, and then whatever it is in the house like follows him somehow, and it sounds really creepy. The back says it's a darkly funny horror novel about grief and rage, the loneliness of living between cultures, and the all too real oppressive intimacy of technology. And that sounds really cool to me. Also, it's like this funky, weird little squatty size. Ooh, love it. Love to see it. Next is a collection of short stories, and it's called Our Shadows Have Claws. This is one I've been meaning to read for ages. And all these stories are by like Latin American authors. And I think there's some about cryptids. There's all kinds of different things, but they're all horror. And it's a YA anthology. There's also some cool art in here as well. And I really like that aspect of it. I kind of want to go into this one blind, but the back says, from zombies to cannibals to star-crossed shape-shifting lovers, this cross-genre anthology written by superstar YA authors from across the Latin American diaspora offers bold new thrills for every monster fan. In these 15 original short stories, bloodthirsty vampires are hunted by a quick-witted slayer, children are taken from their beds, and anyone you love might be a monster waiting to strike. Ooh, that sounds really good. I'm super stoked. I've heard fabulous things about this book, and it's just been sitting on my TBR for a while, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, you know, I feel like now is the time. Look at this. Who is this? They don't have a head. Love to see it. Next is another horror, and this one is interesting because I'd never heard of this before, but it's called Pay the Piper. And I was intrigued by this cover because it's kind of like swampy and spooky, again with like the water horror kind of vibe. But the back says it's a terrifying and lyrical tale of supernatural horror set in a cursed Louisiana bayou. Hello? I want to read that so bad. And the back says, Alligator Point, Louisiana, population 141. Young Renee has heard stories of the Piper, a murderous swamp entity haunting the bayou her entire life. But now the legend feels horrifyingly real. Children are being taken and gruesomely slain. To resist, Renee and the town's desperate denizens will need to acknowledge the sins of their ancestors, the pirates. If they don't, it's time to pay the piper. Ooh! Okay, so we've got a setting in the Louisiana bayou, we've got a murderous swamp entity, and then we have the sins of their ancestors, who are the pirates. There's nothing that I don't love on the back of that, to be quite frank. And then we have this stunning cover. Why is nobody talking about this book? Riddle me that. Next, we have a book that people are in fact talking about, and everybody said it's bad, but I bought it anyways because I think I'm really going to enjoy it, and that's The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. Now, if you're like me and you're like, Casey McQuiston had a new book come out recently, yeah, and nobody's talking about it because all the reviews on Goodreads are bad, and to the point where I almost was like, I'm not going to read this. And then I saw a copy in Barnes & Noble, and look at these sprayed edges. It's got words, it's got the Eiffel Tower, we've got a croissant, like, it's stunning. She's stunning. But also, I was reading the beginning of this and some snippets and stuff, and I just love Casey McQuiston's writing style, and I know all my girlies say it's bad, but I think I'm gonna like it. This is a male-male romance, by the way. Okay, the first line is, the first time I kissed Kit, he tastes like jalapenos and apricots. Shut up. If it has the word apricots in it, I'm here for it. I'm gonna be real. Anyways, if you read this, let me know what you thought. Even if you hated it, I still want to know, because nobody that I know has read this, but the general consensus on Goodreads is that it's hot monkey garbage, so maybe it sucks, but I'm still excited. Next, we have another book that nobody has talked about and probably doesn't give a shit about, but I saw this cover, and I was in with that cover. It's another, like, under the sea fantasy vibe, which I'm excited about. And this is actually like a reprint of a book that came out in 2022. So it's not new per se, but it's about this 17-year-old named Tempe who is born into an underwater world, and there's only a few islands that are remaining in this world, and it sounds like it's gonna be an exciting fantasy set in this like ocean world. It's kind of giving like the world of Aquaman a little bit, is kind of what it's reminding me of. So I'm excited to get this. It's really chunky, but I have a good feeling about this. I really do. So if you've read this, The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schottel, I'm gonna butcher that, I'm so sorry, then let me know, because I'm very curious. I don't usually read like YA fantasy anymore these days, but the last one that I read, I think it was Monsters Born and Made, I absolutely loved it, and it had that like underwater world with the sea monsters and the stuff. So I think this could be a vibe. I'm gonna be real. And then the last one I got from Barnes & Noble was Reluctant Immortals. So this I got because it's a vampire story. And the first line was also really good. So the first sentence is, it's almost sundown in Los Angeles and Dracula's ashes won't shut up. Girl, you shut up. That's so iconic. So I'm excited about this. I think the back says it's a horror novel that looks at two men, Mr. Rochester and Dracula, and the two women who survived them, Bertha and Lucy. And now they're undead immortals residing in LA in the 60s. And the story kind of goes from there. It sounds like it's kind of a historical gothic fiction with a modern perspective on love and betrayal and coercion. It sounds very fun. I think it's going to be very like feminist and stuff too, and I'm excited about that. So those are all the books I got from Barnes & Noble. And then I also have a whole nother stack that I got from these bookstore. Look how big this stack is. Shut up. I did so much damage. Straight to jail. Just straight to jail. My wallet is on fire. It hurts. There's no money in there. I'm playing. But for real though, this is a lot of books. Okay, so used bookstore, what did we get? I got this one by Kathy Maxwell. It's called When Dreams Come True. So Kathy Maxwell wrote another historical that I read earlier this year, or end of last year. I think it was end of last year. And it was called The Seduction at Christmas. And the beginning of that book was weird as hell. But I got so into it, and I was reading it on the plane on the way back from seeing my family for Christmas. And I just like fell into it, and it was so good. And I'm going to be going on another plane soon. And so I was like, I really want another Kathy Maxwell to read on the next plane. And this one had good reviews on Goodreads, and so I picked it up. But, the back says, when Pierce rescues a mysterious beauty from the billowing ocean waves, he has no idea who she is or where she came from. But at first sight, this enchanting maiden, he knows he must claim her for his own. Taking her back to Penhallow Hall, he pampers her like a princess, determined to win her trust and her heart. For Eden, awakening in an elegant bedchamber in a remote corner of Cornwall is like a perfect dream. In Pierce's arms, she has discovered true love, true joy, and a passion she never imagined could exist, yet she knows in her heart that once her secret past catches up with her, her dreams could be shattered forever. Everyone knows the Earl of Penhallow needed a wife, so one thunderous night, the villagers gathered together to ask the ocean to deliver a bride to the bachelor lord. Okay. So I'm wondering, is this like a amnesia type of story? Or like the villagers asked the ocean to deliver a bride to the bachelor? Is she like a mermaid or something? I don't know. But this cover honestly is not great, but I'm excited about this. Kathy Maxwell, man, she has some like kind of fantasy elements to her historical romances sometimes. And the last one I read from her had really, really good like banter and tension, and I loved that. Next, we have one that Peyton got me for my birthday, actually, and it's called A Pirate's Love by Joanna Lindsay, and I've been looking for more pirate books, and he said he got me this because I was talking about how I really wanted to be a pirate queen, and he thought this would be good, and he got this from Goodwill for me, actually, I think. And anyways, I'm super stoked about this. The back says, sailing westward toward the Caribbean sun, young Bettina is obediently setting out to fulfill a promise made by her father, a prearranged marriage, but it is a wedding destined not to be. Abducted by the bold and handsome pirate, the notorious Captain Tristan, oh my god, the pale-haired beauty finds herself helpless in his arms. Shocker. Detesting her captor for enslaving her, yet held by the passionate spell he casts over her, she surrenders her innocence to the warm caress of the tropical winds, finding love's fulfillment in the magic of a pirate's powerful embrace. Okay, so that tells me absolutely nothing about the plot. Girly Pop is supposed to be getting married. She gets abducted by a hot pirate and then becomes the pirate queen that I wish I was. Love to see it. Next is one that I honestly don't remember why I added to my TBR, but it's called Sleepless at Midnight, and I saw this cover and I was like, I have seen this somewhere. And sure enough, it was on my Goodreads TBR, which means that one of the romance booktuber girlies must have said it was good. My bet is that it was Jess from Peace Love Books. And this also has a really pretty step back too, which we love. And I saw that it was on my TBR and I bought it. I'm gonna be real. I wasn't being picky, as you can tell. But the back says, the ladies in London are abuzz over Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, especially Miss Sarah Morehouse. Her imagination is fired up, so when she spies Matthew Davenport, the Marquise, mysteriously sneaking home in the wee hours clutching a shovel, she simply must investigate. Girl, he probably just buried a man. Like, leave him be. Impelled by curiosity, the adventurous lass steals into his bedchamber. That sounds like a bad idea. Only to be caught red-handed by the impossibly handsome and totally naked noble. Girl, get out of his room. Okay, this is starting to come back to me now. I think I did hear about this having, like, just an out-of-pocket synopsis, but having it be like a really funny, good romance. Okay. The Marquise has more important things to worry about than a group of literature-loving ladies, but Matthew's grand plan to rescue the family from ruin could be lost when he discovers Sarah hiding behind his bedroom curtain. What is this meddlesome woman up to? Brother, you and me are both asking the same question. And why are his desires inflamed by a chit who is too inquisitive for her own good? Yikes. Well, two can play at this game, and when Matthew captures the beguiling Sarah in all her naked glory, the night of mischief has only begun. Why is everybody naked? Is that why on the cover everybody's like, girl, respectfully, like, get some pants and get some boundaries. Anyway, that could be good or it could be hot monkey garbage. We're gonna find out. Next is one by Karen Hawkins, and it's called How to Pursue a Princess. This cover is unreal. I, again, bought this because Past Me put it on a Goodreads TBR. I think this is another one that Just for Peace Love Books recommended. But let's see what the back says. Hopefully there's less naked people. It says, an innocent lost in the woods. Nope, still naked. Okay. The sensible solution to her family's dire financial woes is for Lily to marry the Earl of Huntley, a wealthy widower handpicked by her matchmaking godmother, the Duchess. Huntley is pleasant and attractive, the perfect candidate in every way, but Lily knows she's in big trouble as soon as passionate, unprincipled Prince Wolfensky, yikes, sweeps a hot, possessive glance over her. He looked at her and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't marry this really kind widower. Okay, moving on. By his own account, the prince barely... Okay, sorry, there's a sticker on here and I can't get it off. It's interfering with my reading. I'm not ineloquent. There's just a sticker in my way. Okay, we're gonna skim. Basically, nothing's gonna stop him from pursuing this elusive beauty. With every cunning trick he can muster. No way. Okay. But which is more important, power and money or love everlasting? To make the right choice, both Wolf and Lily must trust their hearts, not just their heads, to lead them to the happiness they desire. Okay, so basically they have to stop being pompous and stupid and then just get married. Is that the tea? Is that what's happening? Okay. This is a long book to have like so little of a plot in the synopsis, but we'll see. I love the cover, and that's honestly enough to make me pick it up. And Karen Hawkins is really good too. I really like her stuff, so I think this could be something. Again, or it could be monkey garbage. We're gonna find out. That's what I love about buying like historical romances from the used bookstore, is that they're so cheap that like I can take a risk on what I'm buying. So the next two are in the same series, and they're by Teresa Medeiros, and there's this one. It's called The Pleasure of Your Kiss, and this one had really good reviews on Goodreads. And then I also have the sequel that's called The Temptation of Your Touch. And I've heard this is a duology, and that when you finish this one, you're going to be dying for the second one. So I figured I might as well just get them both since I was there. But this one is about a adventurer named Ashton Burke, who's roamed the globe for 10 years trying to forget the spirited woman he left behind in England. His devil-may-care pursuits are interrupted, though, when he reluctantly agrees to retrieve his brother's kidnapped fiancé from a sultan's harem. What? Too late, he discovers his quarry is none other than Clorinda, the very same girl who made off with his jaded heart. Wait. So his brother's fiancé is the girl that he's down bad for? Did I read that right? The last thing Clorinda wants is to be trapped in a palace of sensual delights with the man whose irresistible kisses still haunt her sleepless nights. She quickly realizes that allowing Ashton to rescue her may put her yearning heart in ever greater peril. No kidding. In a journey both tantalizing and treacherous, Ashton and Clorinda resume their impetuous steps of their dangerous dance, only to discover the most seductive pleasure of all may be love itself. Okay, so the part about the Sultan is interesting to me, and the kidnapping, but I'm also confused as to why this girl would date his, like, kid brother if she's into him. You know, whatever. We're just gonna have to figure out what's going on. But that does explain, like, the really dope cover with, like, the pillows and stuff. Okay, well, that's interesting. And then this one... Oh, I see. Okay. After looking at the back, so this one is following the guy from book one's brother and his romance. Okay, I could get down for that. I love a little, like, sibling romance series situation. Okay, that could be something. That could be fun. If you've read these, let me know what you thought. And then next is the last historical romance I got, I think. It's called One Night in Scotland by Karen Hawkins. Another Karen Hawkins, another hot Scottish man. This right here. This step back. Who is she? We love to see it. Okay, what's the back say? Ooh, a mysterious abductor. Someone is holding her brother prisoner in exchange for a gold onyx box covered in mysterious runes. So Mary boldly sets out from the family vicarage to find the priceless artifact, but the man who possesses it, Angus Hay, oh my god, the Earl, is less than sympathetic to her plight. Shocker. A forbidding stranger, himself a prisoner of his dark past. Ooh, broody hero. Angus refuses to yield the box. Just give her the box, King. Whatever. Or allow Mary to leave. Oh, great. Suspicious of the alluring lass's mission, he vows to wrest a confession from her, but unearths a fiery temper and a will as strong as his own. Well, yeah, you did kind of like capture her in your home, King. Okay. The end says, an unbreakable curse. Passion flares between them, but now there is more at stake. An unknown enemy is hunting down the precious box. What is with the box? And will stop at nothing. Risking all for love, Angus must solve the mystery behind the runes and trust the only woman who can awaken his forgotten heart. The way I almost said frozen heart. Okay, the more you look at these synopses, the funnier it gets. But honestly, this kind of sounds like it could be interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with this box, though. Like, is it the box itself? Or is it, like, what's in the box? It's giving, I've got a jar of dirt.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it?
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm interested in this. Also, I think it must be, like, a Scottish deal, too. Because it has, like, the clan colors on the side. And so that could be fun as well. Okay, next, switching gears entirely. Away from romance, I got a nonfiction, and it's called A Face for Picasso. So this is one I saw on the shelf at the used bookstore in the memoir section, and I had to get it because I remember I heard about this when it was a new release when I was working at the bookstore like a couple years ago. Okay, and it's about this girl, and when she was born, she and her twin sister were like conjoined twins, and their heads were fused together. And they had to endure like multiple medical procedures to keep them alive and stuff, and it affected like their skulls and the way that their faces looked and things like that. And I think eventually they had some kind of like surgery to like separate the two of them so they weren't conjoined anymore. But anyways, basically it like left her with, you know, like some scars and things on her face that were, you know, detrimental to like how she saw herself, especially with like beauty standards and things like that. And she had to deal with a lot of like school bullies and things of that nature. But it was really interesting to me, just the idea of like having to navigate dealing with like the facial scars and all of these different things. And I just thought that was interesting. And also I found this really also interesting bookmark in this book. And it's Custer, in case you wanted to see. Mr. Custer has joined the chat. Anyways, why he's in here is a mystery to me. But basically, I heard really fabulous things about this memoir when it first came out. And then I haven't heard anything since. But since I found a copy, I was like, I really want to read this because it sounds really fantastic. And then next up is another book I heard really good things about a long time ago, and it's Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. So this is one that a lot of people talked about like many years ago on BookTube. This is a completed trilogy, and from what I remember, it's about this girl who is like on a bike ride one day, and she finds this giant metal hand in the earth, and she like falls into it, and the like archaeologists or whatever uncover it, and turns out it's like a whole metallic like giant, and there's like all these other pieces of the giants that they find around the world, and they are trying to like figure out what they are. Like, are they a weapon of mass destruction? Was it created by aliens? Like, who made them? Why are they here? I think it has to do with like space and humanity and all kinds of sci-fi stuff, and it sounds really interesting. So anyways, it's told in like transcripts and stuff too. I think there's like interviews and whatnot. So anyways, it looks really, really cool. I'm excited to get to this. And then I also got this one by Jonathan Stroud, which is a middle grade fantasy. It's the first one in a series, and it's called The Amulet of Samarkand, I think. It has this really cool like iridescent cover, if you can see that. But I picked this up because Jonathan Stroud wrote one of my favorite middle grade series, and the first one in that is Screaming Staircase. The series is Lockwood & Co. And that one is more of like a paranormal ghosty series, and I'm not really sure what this one is about, but I do know that it has this little like goblin, gremlin kind of a guy on it. And it's giving my precious. Anyways, so the back says, Nathaniel is an 11-year-old and a magician's apprentice learning the traditional arts of magic. All is well until he has a life-changing encounter with Simon, a magician of unrivaled ruthlessness and ambition. When Simon brutally humiliates Nathaniel in public, Nathaniel decides to speed up his education, teaching himself spells way beyond his years. With revenge on his mind, he masters one of the toughest spells of all and summons Bartimaeus, a 5,000-year-old djinn, to assist him. But summoning Bartimaeus and controlling him are two different things entirely. And when Nathaniel sends the djinn out to steal Simon's greatest treasure, he finds himself caught up in a whirlwind of magical espionage, murder, and rebellion. Ooh, okay. I like that. That kind of reminds me a little bit of like Nevermore, with like the magic apprentice and learning and that kind of stuff. But I like this whole thing where he summons the djinn. That's going to be really cool. Okay, I'm excited about this. I know this is a series. I think there might be like 4 or 5 books or so, but it's an older one. It's like, this was one of his backlists. He wrote this one before he wrote Lockwood & Co. So we'll see how the writing is. I'm not sure what the pub year is on this. Does it say? It should say. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is copyright 2003. Okay, this could be really good, or it could be 2003, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see, but I am excited because I love Jonathan Stroud. His writing is so like magical, and anyways, love him. And the next one that I got is The Once and Future Witches. So I've seen a lot of people say that they really like this, and I think it's going to be right up my alley. So the back says, in 1893, there's no such thing as witches. There used to be in the wild, dark days before the burnings began, but now witching is nothing but tidy charms and nursery rhymes. If the modern woman wants any measure of power, she must find it at the ballot box. But when Eastwood sisters, James, Juniper, Agnes, and Beatrice, joined the suffragettes of New Salem, they began to pursue the forgotten words and ways that might turn the women's movement into the witches' movement. Stalked by shadows and sickness, hunted by forces who will not suffer a witch to vote, and perhaps not even to live, the sisters will need to delve into the oldest magics, draw new alliances, and heal the bond between them if they want to survive. There's no such thing as witches, but there will be. Ooh. I like that. It's interesting that there's like a political element to this as well, with the voting stuff. Ooh, and like the suffrage movement and the witches. Ooh. I like that. That could be really fun. I remember when I worked at the library a long time ago, one of the librarians was really cool, and she read this, and I remember she told me that it was so incredibly good, and she thought that I would love it, and I just haven't picked it up because it's so chunky. But I found it at the used bookstore, and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to read more witchy books this fall, and I think this is going to be included in that as well, probably along with that other witchy book that I got from Barnes & Noble. So we're going to be reading about a lot of witches, and I'm really stoked. I think it's going to be really fun and fresh. And then the last book that I got, the very last one in the whole haul, is The Bandit Queens. So this is one that normally would be kind of out of my wheelhouse. However, Lena from Lena Norms read it, and I think this was like one of her best books that she read in 2023, and she loved it. And I've been hearing a lot of other people say it's really good as well. And I trust Lena wholeheartedly. She's one of my favorite booktubers of all time. Anyways, she's got impeccable taste, and she used to work in book publishing, so she knows what's good. But anyways, the synopsis says, 5 years ago, Gita lost her no-good husband, as in she actually lost him. He walked out on her, and she has no idea where he is. But in her remote village in India, rumor has it that Gita killed him, and it's a rumor that just won't die. As it happens, being known as a self-made widow comes with some perks. No one messes with Greta, harasses her, or tries to control or marry her. It's even been good for business. No one dares to not buy her jewelry. Freedom must look good on Greta because now other women are asking for her expertise, making her an unwitting consultant for husband disposal. I love that. Husband disposal. Put that on a t-shirt. And not all of them are asking nicely. Ooh, with Greta's dangerous reputation becoming a double-edged sword, she has to find a way to protect the life she's built, but even the best laid plans of would-be widows tend to go awry. What happens next sets in motion a chain of events that will change everything, not just for Greta, but for all the women in the village. Filled with clever criminals, second chances, and wry witty women, The Bandit Queens is a razor-sharp debut of humor and heart that readers won't soon forget. Ooh! That sounds fabulous. Another feminist read. I like that it's set in an Indian village with a bunch of women who are trying to kill their husbands. that's some tea. I've heard that this is really funny and fun though, and has like a really good cast of characters with all these women who are kind of like becoming friends with each other. Anyways, stoked about this. That is all I have for you for this book haul. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave me a book stack emoji in the comments if you got to the end of this, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!